Hello, hello. Woo. Sorry, I was just like putting my eye drops, so sorry for the delay. How are you? How's everybody doing? Hey, Sashin or Sahin. Sorry if I mispronounced it. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Ratnesh. Atomic Code says this seems pretty cool to watch. I wish it wasn't working right now. Well, you can maybe watch and work. I don't know, depending on the multitasking thing. Let me find where is my playlist. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's play this one. Should be all right. So, what's new? I don't know what's new. We're gonna continue today building our project, seeing how we can tackle new things. I actually don't have anything in mind specifically what we can do today, so also up for chatting as long as my throat doesn't give up on me. And let's see, maybe we can do some refactoring today because our project might need that. So let me share my other, I feel like I'm on a Zoom call. Let me share my screen. There we go. So that's our API. That's our project. Hey Adana, that plant lighting looks dope in the background. Thanks. I hope my plant is gonna survive this. But plants should like light, right? But yeah, I hope so too. Hey, hey. Let me quick check if my project is running. Hey, Sasha! Happy to see you here finally! I mean, I'm finally here. You probably were here always. Let me switch back first to this screen and bring up the terminal. Yay! The purple vibes. Yeah, they're really... I feel that after the... What was it? The daylight savings are over. It's time for like a cozy vibe, and it's... You know... It has been dark already since 4:30. So... It's the winter vibes. Let's call it like that. I'm just trying to quick run my project. If I only remember where it is. By the way, if you want to code along together, all the folders, all the files are on GitHub, and there's a description in the box below, right beneath this video, so you can just clone it and jump on it and follow straight away. What were we using? We're using Yarn. I think we were using Yarn, right? No, we weren't. What am I doing? I'm sorry. npm run start, I think it was. Let's see. It starts the development server in 3, 2, 1. So, compile with warnings. There we go. There we are. Warnings are fine. I love warnings. Hey Dana, finally I can watch you live. Hey! I guess so. It has been a while since I streamed, and last time I streamed I had to cut it short. But yeah, I don't know, I miss streaming. Today also I had a headache and I was kind of like feeling blah, but I didn't want to, you know, tell you again that I'm not gonna stream today, so I was like, come on. And then I actually watched Sasha's story where you shared something about keyboards, like a reel of somebody else, and it kind of had like a very cozy vibe, and I was like, I'm gonna go stream. So thank you, Sasha, for indirectly or directly inspiring me to come here and do this. I even have my tea matching the color scheme. Okay, So what are we gonna do? Every developer after some time, what am I doing? Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's I wanted to say that's nationwide, but I guess we have a developers nation. I don't know. Oh yeah. So what are we doing here? If you're not familiar with the project, then here's the project. We're building an e-commerce, right? Are we building an e-commerce? We are building e-commerce, right? Using an API, REST API, using React, Tailwind, well, basically anything that you see in the description or in the title even. So I don't need to say that. You probably know that already. We called it Welly because why not? And here's the homepage, sort of. And the design is not made by me. The design was made by Piotr Medycki. And we found it on Behance in another stream that we did. I say we because, you know, we're a group here. We're always the same people. Well, not always, but it's kind of, I feel that it's the same people. And yeah, that's what we were building. And last time we managed to fix an infinite loop that I have created by myself previously in August. And I managed to fix it finally. Well, this goes to show, right, that sometimes when you're really in the project and everything, you cannot even see a little bit. You need to distance yourself from it in order to get perspective on the thing and then come back to it and be like, that was easy. It did feel easy once I started doing that and it started working. So take your time, take your rest. Maybe not 2 months. Hopefully on the job you don't need 2 months to figure out something like that. But also on the job you have probably other colleagues who can help you out. And that's also why it's nice to have somebody else who you can code with, because the more the better, I guess. I mean, there is probably a limit to the more, but you get my point. So last time we sort of did this, and that's where we were. We wanted to show the recommended products. So we have 3 pages so far. No, we have 4 pages. We have our homepage, our product, search, and about. Don't look at the code right now. What you want to know is how they look like. So let me close the console. This is the homepage. Does it look similar? It does. Does it look identical? No, but it does the job. And I think if you would see it somewhere else, then you'll be like, hey, I think I know this project. Then we have the search, which is empty still. Then we have also the about, which probably is going to be just content, right? What do they have in the about? Do they have anything? Do they have an about, or we just took it from the navigation? I probably just like put it there as a navigation item. I'll figure something out to put, or we can just put lorem ipsum. That's also fine. Then what else do we have? We have those little things, which is, we still didn't even talk about it. We have also all those links, a footer that I did off screen and off stream, but you know, it was just a copy paste and putting them in columns. So nothing much going on there. Hey Bandan, just found this channel. Nice. Gonna follow the weather project with ReactJS. Yay. It's really, I didn't expect the weather project to be so popular, but it's by far the most popular API challenge. So that's good to know. What else did I want to show you? Oh yeah, those buttons, they don't do anything. Oh no, most to the about. Well, I think it still doesn't do much. Okay, so it's for the about. Fine. So you get the state of the project. It's not like settled in stone. We're still figuring things out. We're putting pieces here and there, and then once we have like a bigger picture of more things working solidly and we understand the flow of the website as well, then I think we can start refining it design-wise. Code-wise, probably could do some refactoring for what already exists, at least in the hooks, but I need to take a look at that. And we should just get to our recommended products, right? Because that's what we have been doing for so long, and I want to finish that. So if we go, for example, to this volumizing mascara from the brand called Green People, apparently. Why don't put the Green People anywhere here? We should put like the brand name somewhere here, right? We have an add to basket call to action, which will eventually add here an item. We have the heart, but we don't give the user yet an option to heart a product. And here we have an output of all the recommended products that we recommend the user to check out. But clearly we're not going to do so many because it's useless. So we are going to do it. Let me scroll down to where it is. Like this. We're gonna show them four products, right? I don't think we need to show them more. No, I don't. The minimal design is lit. Thanks, Raja. Hello. So, recommended products. At this point, this list will need to look like this. I think it's fine, right? And wait, before we start, this element, I think, is the same as we have right here, right? So if we go to our, whoops, stop. If we go to our home page, then this is the component that we have. I'm gonna reuse that component. Beauty of components. By the way, that was my alarm to put drops in my eyes, because you remember, or maybe you don't, doesn't matter, you don't need to remember that. I had eye surgery and I need to put eye drops every hour now. So I did it before I started the stream, but in case you hear the TTD, that means it's go time for eye drops, and I'm gonna be off for like 2-3 minutes. Which probably during that time you can also do something. So, shall we? Let me go back to the volumizing mascara. And where we at? So we were on the home page, and from the home page we navigated to our product. Do you see the code? Is it better now than before? I think I have enlarged it to the maximum that is possible, and it's already like super huge on my screen. So I really hope you see it well, because otherwise I'm gonna be in trouble. My sanity is gonna be in trouble. You see, my last my commit was 17th of August. A long time ago. Okay. So, I assume if nobody complains on the font about the font, then it's all right. So go for it. Cool. Let me stare at it for a second to understand what we're doing. Okay, so last time we did hooks. We have a use get product, which is in our hooks folder here. And what we have here is that we're using the params from the router, so we understand which product the user clicked on. Wait, here it's 1011, and we take this ID and we do a call to the API that we're using to get then the response. And what do we do with the response? We set the product, which then is being stored here, and we are returning that product to wherever we're using the hook. And that's in the product. Okay, yeah, single product. If we don't have a product, we return a loading, just so we won't crash anything, because if you're trying to access single product.name and the single product is a null, then it's gonna crash. You don't want that. So it's kind of like not the best way to avoid crashing, but it works. So what else? We have our main container, the div. We have the product title, which, if I'm not mistaken, is this part. Then we have this chunk, which is a whole div. It's a flex with the image. So this is part one. And then we have this div, which is this one. And there, I don't know why I have this. I don't think I need that. Category is also fine. I think I had like comments for that before we had anything to kind of like structure it, but I don't think we need it anymore. Counter. Oh, counter is probably going to be later when we want to do the add to basket. But you know what? Maybe my product vision for that add to basket is going to change by then. So I'm going to remove that comment because I still have no idea how we're going to do that. Like, not that I don't have an idea. It's just like, didn't think that much in advance. It's pretty detailed. So description, also self-explanatory. We had an issue with our data that we're getting from the API. In some products, we were getting HTML, and I explained it. I don't remember in which one, but I think it was in the 3rd chapter or the 4th, probably somewhere around that, where I explained why we won't be outputting HTML from an API that we don't know and input that we don't control, input of which we don't control. So we are using regular expressions to replace all like HTML tags and then just like put it as regular text. Then we have the recommended products, and that's where we're at. Honestly, I don't know why I did it like this. Probably because time has passed and now you're very critical of whatever code you wrote 2 months ago. But I would have put this whole thing in its own component. But maybe I didn't do that because, you know, first you need to kind of like get the thing, do it, and then you can analyze what goes where. So, but yeah, that would be like my first urge to kind of like put everything in their own components and then continue. But we don't have to do it now. We can do that later, right? We have all the time in the world. So, recommended products. To the recommended products, we're already passing a product, which is our single product. Why? Well, let's check why. We go to recommended products, which is a JS file suddenly, although everywhere else I did JS6. So let me convert that to JS6. Do I need to restart? Try. There's no big difference, or any difference for that matter, between JS file or JS6 file, but since all of them are here JS6, let's just do it as well. There we go. Okay. So we were receiving the product as a prop, right? The single product. So our volumizing mascara, we are receiving it in our recommended products. Why? Because I see that we're using it here in the use get recommended products, which is another hook. You can identify that it's a hook by the beginning of it, that it uses the word use. That's kind of like the naming convention for React hooks, for custom React hooks as well. And let's go to it and see what we have in the use get recommended products. So we have our imports. Then we have our base URL. So a hook is basically a function with an argument of the product, whatever we passed in here, right? So what is the product for? Let's check. So we have here the use state. So we're preparing to store there the information that we're going to be getting from an API. Then we have a key and a value. Let's get back to it a little bit later. And I think that's the only place where we're using the product. Right, so how this hook is being fired is that we have a use effect, which is basically whenever you're passing an empty array of dependencies, this is called array of dependencies, then you're telling the hook or any component where you're using it that, hey, whatever is inside of this code, please go through it as soon as the component mounts. Component mount means usually when the user goes to the page where the component is visible. And here we're checking if we don't have a product, because remember we also have a loading in case we don't have a product. So if we don't have a product, return out of this hook. We don't want to have anything related to this. But if we do have a product, then go to this next function. The next function goes to make an API call. We're using Axios, a simple get, and in the params, we're passing a key and a value. Why do we do that? Because our API call takes the product, it takes the product type or the brand of the product, and based on that, it does a call to the API. I think we read it in the API that this is how we're doing things. No, wait. Yeah, here. So in the examples of the API, by the way, Makeup API, that's the API. Link is in the description box below if you want to check it out yourself. How you can get different things is by passing parameters to the URL. And that's basically what we're doing here. We are doing params. We could have also just created it like this. That's first, when you add params, you need to add a question mark, and then you can write brand equals green people or something like that. But we're not doing that. We decided to use whatever Axios is giving us, and you can just add a params object, put a key and a value, and it's going to create you this type of URL. I showed it in the previous stream how it constructs eventually the URL, so you can check it in the network tab in your console. So we're not going to focus on that right now. But basically, this is what we're doing it. The API says, the API docs say to us that, hey, if you want to get several things, then we decided to search for it by product type or by brand. That's why we have the key and the value here. We also found out that not always you have a product type of a product. So if we don't have it, then we want to use a brand, which is supposed to be always there. And we're basically constructing things, right? Then whatever response we get, we take the data, we set the products, and then the products are being set through the React hook called useState, and it's available to us in the products variable, which we return eventually to wherever we called the hook. And we go back to the recommended products, and here is our product. Of course, here we also check that if products.length is 0, if the array is empty, then we return null, because we will have nothing to render to the user, and yeah, nothing to recommend. But if we do have it, then we render, just like for now, a very, very simple loop. And that's what we're going to be doing today, changing the recommended products very, very simple loop to something a little bit more sophisticated that is going to be appealing to the eye of the user. JJ says, I have a question. How can you create product content using a CMS? Is that the best way to do for production? I don't know if it's like the best way. I think that depends on your use case. CMS would make sense if you have content creators or content managers who are working on creating the products by themselves. So you don't want a developer to be involved in that and necessarily all the time go into the code and update, or not in the code, like in the database. So yeah, CMS could be a good thing. Or if you have like translations, for example, you also want to have them coming from the CMS. I wouldn't say that there is just like one best way to do it. It also depends, is your product a mature product? Do you have the time and the resources to create a CMS integration, to have people trained on the CMS? Or maybe you have, I don't know, a developer or another 2 or 3 people who are tech savvy and they can just like do database entries. Is it an MVP? Is it not? Is it urgent? There are so many variables involved. But probably like if you want to unload this from a developer and from people going like in systems and possibly something going wrong there, then a CMS would be a good idea. Yeah. Plus, if it's like a e-commerce and you're working with different brands that are like inputting their own data, then a CMS probably would make sense, I guess. Yeah. But that's just like my opinion. I've never worked with like on work with an e-commerce, did I? I mean, not that type of e-commerce. I am working in an e-commerce, but not, it's a little bit different, okay? So, I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so let me check the recommended products. Thanks, cool. Really, I should come up like with t-shirts about like it depends, because I feel every answer that I give is like it depends. It's mostly because I don't want to give you like an advice. Like I don't know the whole information, right? So I don't feel like there is just like this, like only this is right, only this is wrong. The world is not like that. So, how come my voice is already breaking? Like it has been on 30 minutes. 30 freaking minutes. I talk on Zoom longer. Okay, let's replicate this beauty. Instead of this, all right, we also should limit it to 4. How are we gonna limit it to 4? Any ideas? What would you do? You have an array of endless amount of data, but you want to have only 4 entries. What's your weapon of choice? I don't know if you can hear my neighbors. They're moving their furniture every single second. I'm gonna wait for a couple of answers. Let me know. Nobody? All right, so we can Google that together because that's what I usually do. Array length limit. JS, yeah. You need to specify that it's JS because then you have all the sophisticated languages that actually have relation in like have like memory, what is that? Memory capacity, let's call it like that. Don't quote me on that, but you know what I mean. It's like, it's different than in JavaScript. In JavaScript, you can really do a lot of things that in other languages you can't. So, Stack Overflow, maximum size of an array in JavaScript. Yes, that's what we want. No, sorry, that's not what I want. Cannot limit the length of an array in JavaScript. There we go. So, splice, slice. Let's try it with a slice, right? So the PT, oh, you know what? So what went through my mind is that the PT is that we are actually fetching this whole array. So all of this, and ideally you would like, you should limit the amount that you're fetching, because this is all data. If the user is using their mobile, they're using their mobile data to fetch all of this information, and you only display 4 of it. So that's kind of like crappy. Let's check if actually we have a limit of some sort on our API that we can use. So we have here the parameters that the API offers us, which is not much. Type, category, tags, brand, price, rating, tags list, brands list, product type. Can't you limit with the query headers? I don't know. What would that be like? So no, it doesn't look like they have a limit on this thing. So we'll have to just limit it for our UI then. Oh well. Let's see. So we're gonna do it in our hook. In here in our set product. Let's remove my keyboard. I'm gonna actually type something. Let's do so const fetched products equals response dot data, and then so I'm wondering if I'm just gonna do the there was this response dot, do you see my screen? You see it, right? Yeah. So I'm wondering if I'm gonna do this thing dot length equals 4, if it's gonna error if I have an empty array. So setting this property can also make the array longer than it is. There you see. If its length is 2, running that will add 2 undefined items to it. Perhaps add a condition. Okay, we can do that. So we have our fetched products, and then we can do fetched products dot length so as an idea can be, so first we need to check if the fetch products dot length is bigger than 4, then we do 4, else it's fetch products dot length, right? It looks really nasty, but who cares? So length is gonna be 4. I'm slow today. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Should be alright, shouldn't it? Let's check. There we go. We have our 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try another spot. We also have here 4. Cool. We will need like a loader here. Let's maybe do no. Okay, if we're gonna change this to a loading, then it will mean that even when it's empty, it's gonna be loading, and that's not what we want. So forget about that. For now, it's just gonna be a delayed recommended product. It's by design. There we go. All right. So let me show you what I meant by this method being sucky. So if I refresh the page and I go to the network tab in my console and I go to the fetch XHR, then I see all the fetching requests that our page is making. So this was the initial fetch of the product itself, of this liquid liner. And then we took the ID of it, right? And we fetched this product, these products. And as you can see, we fetched 147 products, out of which we need only 4. So sure, it's not images, it's no nothing, it's just text, but still, you know, you're fetching 150, almost 150 things when you need only 4. Kind of sucky, but well. For now, it's what it is and we're working with it. Okay, so what we need now. Yeah, okay. You didn't see this console error. It's fine. We're gonna fix it. We need to use our component that we have created and put it like into a nicey thing here. All right. Okay, let's go. Can you do something like limit 4 with the API request URL? I don't think the API understands it. In the API docs, they didn't say that they have that. Would you want to try? We can try. Let's see. Inspect. I'm going to the inspect because I want to take the I want to take this URL. Is it still pending? There we go. So that's the URL that we're calling. And if I just do and limit equals 4, let's see. Well, internal server error. I don't think that's possible. Let's refresh and see, maybe that was not an error, maybe that was some hiccup. Is it possible? No. You see, we still get a ton of products. So if the API doesn't read out the limit, then it's not gonna limit you by default. It doesn't, sadly, it doesn't work like that. All right. Where were we? We're sending back the product to our recommended products and we're looping over it. Okay, so now let's go to our single product. What did we use there? Product card. Try with a question mark. So you see the, let's go through it one more. So we have our base URL of our API. So this is kind of like whatever comes before the question mark is think of it, that's the address of the API. Then once you add a question mark, you can add parameters to the URL. You add the question mark only after the base URL is finished. So you want to indicate like, hey, after this question mark, I'm gonna have query parameters. It's not part of the URL, like of the address. It's like, it's for the GET request. But if you have several of them, then you need to add and blah equals blah, and hello equals hello. But the question mark is only in the initial part after the base URL. So product card, that's what we want to be. That's what we want to use. So product card. And we're gonna go back to our recommended products. Thanks for the clarification. Sure. So importing product card from product card, and we're gonna be using the product card here. Let's see what props does it expect. It expects ID, name, brand, image URL, and price. Alrighty. Where did we use it before? In here. I'm just gonna shamelessly copy paste that because we already figured that once. We trust ourselves that we did a good job. And we sort of did. It's an art. Oh, today I got an email where I was asked to give a feedback about a service that I used. And there was like 3 smileys. And in the email, they were like this all over the place. So I was just like, cannot even give you feedback about it. And that's kind of how it looks like as well here. But here it looks a little bit more artsy, in my opinion. So how did we do that in the other place? Where our top products, we had a cute class name, cute, flex wrap, and justify center. Actually, my favorite buddies that follow me along in my whole career, the flex brothers. Let's call them like that. Okay, how the hell this thing works? It doesn't, because here I'm using an item, but here I'm using a product. So all of our product display our main product. Now what we want. Item. And if we refresh. There we go. Nice. It's a little bit misaligned. But it's okay. We need to probably set like a fixed height for the image, or at least for the container of it. But see, that's kind of like, this is what I really like, is that you have created the component once, and then you're working with the API, you're working with raw data, you're just outputting the data like we did with like 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like nothing, not appealing at all. You don't want to like, And then you're using a component you have created already, or maybe somebody else created it for you, if you're using like a special component library, and you're just putting like the things that the component requires, and then you get the whole beauty. I mean, it's nothing really sophisticated here, but still, you know, it's kind of like, whew, I didn't need to do that again. It's all there for me, and I can just use it. So, I don't know. It's like, it's really nice seeing that happen. I don't know why I'm so happy about it. So, well, we're done for today. No. That was a joke. What's next? We didn't do any responsive yet. For now, we're just winging it. Do we want to fix this thing? Let's fix this thing. Oh wow, that's beautiful. What is happening here? I think I put the footer. What did I do with the footer? Wait. So we have the product page. Where's the footer? Okay, the footer is not here. It's probably in the layout somewhere. In the app? Yeah, there we go. Okay, footer. What did I do to you? Footer CSS will tell me something? No. Why do I even have it? Okay, so it's probably something from the page. Margin top 20. Each screen. Yeah, maybe this I don't need actually. Yeah. So I added it before because we didn't have any content and the footer would just jump here, and that's not what we wanted. So that was like a hacky hack to have like the height of the screen and then the footer is under it. But since now we have content to push the footer down, we don't need this height restriction. And I actually usually really dislike using any height properties on websites because height is not, unless you use it as a proportion to a width, I think it's it can get you into trouble. I don't like it. I don't know. At least I'm not a friend with it. It has betrayed me way too often, so we parted our ways. Sometimes I use it, but most of the time, Okay, so what's happening here? Okay, let's go to the product where we were just working. Product card. There we go. We have a lot of classes here. We close the bar. So we have a flex that makes all of these items flex. We specify that it's a flex column though. Then we align the item center. We have the transform, transitions. So basically until here, so these ones we don't care, those are like for transition parts. These are just margins and paddings. We have a rounded, probably corners, right? Yeah, tiny bit. So what does like the magic is those ones. I mean, relative magic. What else? We have the width of an image, which I assume kind of like defines. I don't know if it ever gonna conflict with the column, but probably not because the screens are not so tiny. So it's gonna be okay. If I don't make sense, please tell me because it does make sense in my head, you know. I have great conversations, but I'm not sure if you're hearing all of them. Okay. So what I basically want to do is I want to have the price aligned on the same level, and also the eyeliner and marinate. I don't French, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna push the eyeliner, whatever is under eyeliner and eyeliner included. So what is it? It's the name. Yes, it's the name. So we're gonna push the name, the brand, and the price to the bottom, and then the image should be centered. What do you think? I think that's kind of like a good point to have, right? So let's try. It's actually quite hard for me to look at this code because, first of all, haven't looked at it for ages, and it's huge on my screen, and I'm used to a code being like tiny so I can have an overview. But okay, so I would assume that we need to wrap something in a div, and not something, actually both of the things probably need to be in a div. So then we can maybe do a justify content between them. Let's see how it breaks us. The current layout. It didn't. That's suspicious. I think image size has to be consistent and put inside a separate flexbox div with object fit contain. It might help with alignment, I guess. So there are like many different ways to go around it and about it, whatever English we're using here. But I'm quite okay with the image size. I don't think the image size is giving me the issues right now. I'm more concerned is also a big word, but I'm more kind of like thinking about the placement of the image inside of the container and it affecting other elements. So my idea usually is to, sure, you restrict the image, let's say to a certain width, but then I don't want to restrict it too much, especially since I don't know which images are being given to us from the API and how different they are to each other. So what I usually control are the elements that are more predictable, like text, and text, basically. So text, divs, and things like that. But the images, unless you have a very, very strict format, it's kind of hard to control them. Flex direction column and with flex grow help. But I don't think I want to grow anything here. I just want to so the flex column, yeah, we have it here. We're using Tailwind and their flex direction column is called flex column. But I actually want this. I'm gonna pop to the console now. And I want to add justify between. See what it did? So, without justify between, with justify between. That's what I want to achieve actually. And then the image maybe can be centered in there. No, but it can't. Actually, maybe you're right with the flex grow. I think I understand what you mean now. Let's try that. Let me refresh. So we have a clean slate. And flex one. That'll be like this. Each div container should take flex grow properties. I cannot leave it just on one. But now I want to have it centered. So I would do also flex. And then flex. No, I would do align center. Huh? Why it's not centered? So flex one is a good idea. Let's take that. And then I'm not sure if we need the margin bottom here, if we can do it here. Okay. So it's on the top. Why is this image special? This one doesn't. Why does this one? Oh, they all have it, but for some reason only this one is displaying it. Okay. Maybe though. Do we have a margin Y? Auto? Is it such a thing? I don't think so. What if we do flex? Flex column, align, justify, center. There we go. So the margin Y we don't need, and then we do it like this. Wait, but now I do want the margin bottom. Let's do a 4. Okay, this looks alright, doesn't it? Yay, okay. Now, this is too long of a name. Okay, fine. I said we're not gonna refine it to the dot, so I'm now repeating myself. Not repeating myself, like overruling my own self. Okay. Recommended products. Then what happens once we click on it? Nothing. Why? Interesting. Wait a second. So the URL actually changes. Ooh, we got ourselves into a funky situation here. So I think I know what's happening. We got ourselves into a pickle. We do a useGetProduct. We have a use effect where we're taking the ID from the param. Wait a second, but the ID. So we're going to a page. Then on the page, we're clicking on eyeliner. Look at the URL. It's 1020 now. Now it's 1021. But this didn't change. Let's check. Did we have any API call? No, we didn't. Why didn't we? The URL, the freaking URL changed. That's suspicious. Okay, so what's happening here? When do we do the get single product? Because get single product happens if we have a new single product. No, this is just This we just need to pass it because of some exhaustive hooks. Okay, get single product. We are probably using it in product. We don't. We're using only single product, so we're actually not exporting it. Let's do a longer search. Yeah, we can remove it from here. So now that we have single product is happening here, I think we also I don't think this okay, so this ID is there because it's being used. However, I think we also need to trigger this function. This use effect needs to be triggered once our ID changes, because our use callback is not doing that. Let's see. So we have our gel eyeliner, and then we want our interesting. Let's oh, wait a second. Whoa. Let me try something before that. We have here a single product. Check. If we don't have a single product, then get the single product. I think we want to get the single product anyhow, right? No, because then we have a loop. Damn it! So I wanted to get a single product only when my ID changes. There we go. There we go. Okay. So there's this one thing that confuses me in React still to this day, and I'm trying to figure out how to figure it out. But there is this, so this one is underlined because of this. React hook use effect has a missing dependency get single product, either include it or remove the dependency array. This one is a tricky because previously we have added it, and, or did we? Wait. Am I just confusing myself? I think I am. Okay, but I had other use cases when I would need to put, for example, the single product in here because React complains about it. But then you end up in an endless loop, in an infinite loop, so. Or maybe I did overcome this issue already, and that's how it looks like. And I was putting myself in a loop. That can also happen. That has happened before, many times. Never mind, I learned something new. Okay, so now whenever we go to another point, but we don't get our new products, because like if I go to the Fearless Eyeliner, so we're a customer on the website, we want the Fearless Eyeliner, then we want, I don't know, the liquid liner, which probably doesn't make sense. You don't buy it like that, right? You buy eyeliner there and mascara and stuff like that. But anyway, let's say I do want to buy 500 liners. I go to the Fearless Eyeliner, and then I was like, whoa, liquid liner, go for it, add to basket. And then I see again the Fearless Eyeliner. I already got it, I already checked it, show me something new. So where do we get our recommended products? What is happening here? If we don't have a product, then return. Again, that's the same issue. Is it though? Wait a second. So here we actually want to put the product because our product might update, right? So I go to the gel eyeliner and I should get new recommended. I didn't. Why? So 2 API calls, then I go to Fearless Eyeliner and I get those things. Oh, but wait, is it because it's the same brand and stuff? That's why I get the same thing. Was I getting the product anyhow? Let me check. Let's go to eyeliner. No. Okay, so I did fix the thing. Wait a second. That was a step in the right direction. But because we are kind of like having our own way of fetching only 4 items, it doesn't bring us anywhere. So maybe we should not fetch the same from the same like product type or product brand. Let's see, what do we have here? Let's go to the API. We could also do like a random thingy that we choose like a random range from our API, not API, to need to add get recommended products into the dependency array because it's an external variable that could change. Yep, that's true. That's what I usually don't do. You see, because then you get into that. I honestly, I don't have the brain to do that right now. If I'm being completely honest. Because then it complains that this is a dependency of this and this should be a use callback. So similar to what we have here. Well, fine. You know what? If it's similar, let me try. If it doesn't work, then I'm gonna leave it. The use callback. So wait, first we're adding here the dependency. I will not even attempt to explain that because I'm still trying to figure it out. So that's my honest truth to you. But yeah. Wait, so what was this? That's the closing of the then. And then we have this and this. And that's what I'm forgetting here. Forgetting this part. So there we go. And here, products, right? No, nothing. And we need to import use callback. So tell me what I'm missing. Key and value. Nice. Key and value, okay. Although this key and value could actually go in here. And then in here, in the array of dependencies, we can specify the product, which would be more correct, right? Because we're actually changing or having like the use callback fire once our product changes, not once our key or value change, because they change once the product changes, you know. Okay. Not really strong in the use callback game, so want to attempt to explain it to you. From what I know and from what I understand is that use callback is, how to explain it? So any function that is being called within the useEffect hook is kind of being recreated every time the component updates, I think. And in order to avoid that recreation all the time, if we do this, if we wrap it in a use callback, then it doesn't recreate itself constantly, which is supposed to be better for performance and memory. That's what I understand. But I'm still getting confused, as in, why do I need those two? Because I think sometimes you can even just use the use callback without the use effect. But I'm still not there. Why you don't stream on Twitch? Because I don't like Twitch as a platform. So I'm not gonna go to Twitch. I like YouTube. And alrighty. And that's my eye drops time. So I see you in 3 minutes. Be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. So we managed to get our products, and our products are being refetched once we change stuff. No, they don't. No, they do, right? We didn't fix that. Let's just double check that in our network we see the calls. Okay, there we go. GG saying, with empty dependency array, use effect called on at only initial render with values whenever values get changed without the array at every render. Yes, but the question is, why can't we just use callback instead of the use effect? If the use callback is basically taking like also an array of dependencies, and it's also I don't know what it's also a hook. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like there are those, and I know that the React team has been working on the documentation to improve them, because if you're reading it, if you don't have a very deep understanding of computer science, I think you will not understand what they mean there. It's a very kind of like, use callback is used for callbacks. Do it. I got that, but could you elaborate on that, please, a little bit more? Because, you know, the team that has built it know way more why it's better to use one over another, why it's needed to do like a chain of events like this and this and this. And we're not getting this information from the official source. So, still waiting on that one. All right. What did I want to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to see how we can change this thing, right, to something else. So here's, for example, what we get from one product. And something to search by is brand. We can also check the price for it to be like lower or higher than something. It was here, price greater than, but for now, for some reason, it's not. I mean, it's not possible because it's 0. That's what I meant. See, there was like a tiny conversation in my head that I didn't share. I think, so I took like a anti-headache pill, and I think that's what's causing it. Because I think usually I'm better at communicating my thoughts. Let's check. What I want to check, first of all, when I go here, I have the same products again and again. I think I want to randomize that, and maybe we'll also be able to randomize then wait for it, this part. I'm not familiar with use memo hook. I just read the React docs use callback returns and memo is callback. Yeah, so does that tell you a lot about it? To me personally, it doesn't tell much, or at least it doesn't tell me enough in order to understand why I should use it and in which cases I should use it. That's what I mean. It's like, yeah, their docs is very dictionary-like docs. So not a big fan. But I reckon they are working on rewriting them. So randomizer. How do we want to do that? Let's go first to this one. Okay, we have 3 products, which are our top products, and I already forgot how we fetch them. So let's check that. We probably got it from use top products. There we go. Okay, so we specified product tags. For some reason, probably wanted to be like all greeny, and certified. And then we set the products, response the data. Maybe we only get 3 products, that's why they're there. Okay, then I return the products. So where am I using use get top products? No. This one I want to know. Where am I using it? In top products. So I am getting only 3 products. That's why I'm using them. Smart, Daniela, smart. Okay, so we're not going to do that anymore. We are going to... So if we don't limit anything, then what is it? Products.json. So let me gather my thought, and I'll tell you what I want to do. So if I go here, I want to check how many results do I get? Probably thousands, right? It's probably going to give me the whole thing that the API has. We don't want to do that because, as we said already before, see, it's a ton of things, and content not highlighted due to oversize. So even my extension of JSON is like, goodbye. So we definitely don't want to fetch all of this to the user and display them just like 3 top products, right? That's like, we don't need that in our life. But what I'm thinking is to go the way of adding params, so product tags, which are, where are the product tags? Those tags. So we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 21, 22, 23. 23. Enough tags list. And on them, we can randomize them to get like different ones on every load, right? So we could randomize the length, so like a chunk of the array that we want to cut. You know what I mean? So 2 ways to go about it. First, fetching the whole freaking data and then selecting like a random chunk of the data to display to the user. Or we could already randomize the tag of the product. So I assume that we will get much less products in that payload. And from there, we're gonna choose like the first 4, or we can also randomize the chunk from there. But we're already doing like a pre-selection and we don't fetch 10,000s of products to display only top 3 or 4, right? Could also do it like with the brands list. That's also possible, but you can do it like that, right? Like for example, natural. What's a natural? And why is it capitalized here? That's weird. Is it capitalized? There we go. Okay. So now we have an endless amount of products. Cool. And I want to assume that if I would do it lowercase, it would also work. Yeah, okay. So product tags are gonna be lowercase. So let's do this randomizer, right? So copy all of those beautiful things. We're gonna do, what are we gonna do? Okay, product. Hey Akarsh. Product tags. Oops. There we go. And actually this one can even move outside of our hook. This is like a very const. Product tags. Right? Right. Can I do all of that? Transform to lowercase, there we go. And product tags, we need a randomizer. So in here, instead of this, we will pick one of the product tags. So it's gonna be a random tag, and then we're gonna limit it to a set amount of data we want. So how or where are we gonna do that? One option can be here, get random product tag, and then we can create this function. Also can be outside of the hook, const get random product tag. You could also actually put it in a utils file, but we will see. We're probably gonna have more random stuff, and they are gonna probably move to a utils folder, but not yet. So in order to know how to proceed, we're gonna Google again. Random array index. Perfect, love it. So let's first do this bit. So what does it say? It say, do a math random, but multiply it by the items.length. In our case, items.length is product tags, because math random gives you value between 0 and 1. So you need to multiply it by your length in order to have like a proper number. That's a very scientific explanation, I know, and that's what you get. And math floor is just, sorry, I need to like have a thingy against my throat. Math floor is just going to round it down. Could also do a math seal to round it up, but I don't feel strong about any of those. So I know. I actually think that math floor is necessary because arrays are 0 indexed. So you should do that, because otherwise you can get like to a number that doesn't exist in your array. And what this person is doing is that they're accessing the array, and the index is this number. You could do that, but I would like to do it as a const random number equals this, and then I want to return product tags, and I want to access with the random number whatever the product tags has in this position, and give it to my product tags params here. Well, let's see if it works. Look at that, every time we refresh we have something new. Nice. And now we also need to limit our data, because we don't want to have, like, this is too much. Or not. Is it? Maybe we can have up to 8 products, right? 4 products might be not enough, but like 8 can be the maximum. So what we're gonna be doing here is, in here, in our set product, we're gonna do kind of the same like we did before in our other hook. So we're going to take const how did I call it there? Fetch products. Let's do const data. Fetch products is way too long. I'm gonna do response.data. I have no memory today. Hey Hicks, how are you? So we're gonna copy paste this shamelessly. Wait a second, what? Oh. Okay. I'll fix that one thing at a time. If that's an array, you could limit by array.slice method. Yeah, we could also do that. But we decided to do it like this before. You could actually do that as you want. So this we can actually do like this, right? Deconstruction of response. And then we have here data.length. Is it bigger than 8? Then put 8. Otherwise, data.length. And usually this should also, not usually, but I prefer if this is a variable. So const product limit or product count equals 8. This way, it's not like just an 8, you actually know what you meant there, right? And here, it's like this. Save it. Now, what am I missing? This one. There we go. What did I do? Set products is gonna be data now. There we go. Cool. Yep. And we finally got some money going on. Finally, not everything is 0.00. So, what I noticed in our use get recommended products. Let's go here. And here. I'm not sure how does it work, but this should be fetch products. I don't know why. Do you think JavaScript understood what I wanted without like telling it? I doubt it. Maybe it was something cached or something. No, it wasn't. Suspicious. So let's rename this to data as well, just to make things a little bit less massive. There we go. It's smaller, right? And here as well, we're gonna do our const product count equals 4. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. What did I do? Refresh, right? Okay. What is her VS theme? Her who? Are you asking me directly or are you asking somebody else? Okay, then I would like that whenever... Hey Daniel, I want to scroll up once the URL changes. Right? Is there something from React Router or not? Scroll to top on URL change, React. So let's see. I think I like this one. So if you are running React 16.8 plus, which I think we are probably on like 17 or something. Yeah, 17. This is straightforward to handle with a component that will scroll to the window up on every navigation. Nice. So, shamelessly, copy. Am I killing the audio? No. So this is gonna be a hook. Or is it a component? This can actually probably a component. Or even better, let's just drop it here. All right. Can we do that? I think we can. So we do the use location. And then use effect. There we go. That should work. Cannot read properties of undefined. Read in location in the use location. Oh, what did I miss? Use layout effect. Roughly do this. Let's do that. Cannot read properties of undefined. Read in location. I don't have the use location. Which React router DOM? I have 5. Okay, let's go to the docs. React router DOM. Use layout. No, what was that? Use location. There we go, use location undefined. They both return undefined. Turns out I was adding the React with the router in the same component I was using the use location. Aha. Okay. So in our case, so we cannot use this thing in our app. We need to use it per route, which is not really a big issue because honestly, I think our main route that is going to be changing inside of the route without changing the route itself, you know what I mean, is going to be just in the product page because, well, now it's broken. Let me fix that then. So what I meant is this. And again, I'm saying it as if I'm so sure that it's gonna work. I'm not. So, use this library npm react scroll. No, there is no need in the library. I would advise not to use a library for something that simple. So, okay. So it says React hook use layout effect is called conditionally. That's true, we cannot do that. So the if needs to be after the use layout. Okay. So I scroll. Yay! I scroll and I click on it and it goes up. Nice. And if I go to Willy and I go here, so ooh, nice. Okay. So if I go to the product page and I scroll down, then this is the page where I want it to be scrolled up. We could also add like some animation or something. But that's for later. That's not for now. What is this songs? Pretty sure I didn't ask it to be played. You know, copyrights are a strong thing here, and suddenly my Spotify decides to play whatever it wants. That would be awesome to get a copyright strike on here. But yeah. So we managed to do the scrolling. It scrolls up. And what else? Of course, we could actually move it to its own hook if you want to do that. But I think it's also fine like this, isn't it? This one, I mean this and this part. I think it's fine. So, what else? We did this part. Let's add maybe this one. So we don't have it. We have straight away this bunch, and we should probably also add a for you header. How do I do it in the top recommended? No, on the homepage. I'm sorry, but what? How do you even, like, coding is so hard. Yeah, it's takes a while to get used to coding, but it actually can be a lot of fun. It's a lot of problem solving, it's a lot of figuring out what's not working, how, why, and finding the solution to it. And I actually pretty like those things, so I don't know. It feels almost rewarding to find solutions to it. Especially for the amount of money they pay you to do that. So, top products. Then, section title. There we go. Did I create a section title? Oh yeah, I did, wow. So I didn't create some components, but sometimes I did like a section title. Okay, I'll take it. So is that the product page? Yes. And here we do this. We do for you. Thank you, Google and Stack Overflow, for contributing to my livelihood. Yep. I mean, that's the thing about coding, like you don't need to invent the solutions, you need to find them. And I think this is something that many people are forgetting. You're not like, I don't know. Especially in web development, I don't think you're like, I don't know, a rocket engineer or something. You don't invent things. Well, sometimes, like very, very, very rarely you do, but you need to find the solution through something that already exists, right? Because the language is already there, you need to find a way how to communicate it, or like how to communicate your wishes to the web browser, to the computer, to the whatever. So you're kind of like a JavaScript detective in a way. So I need to import that. Unfortunately, have almost zero experience with web dev. Well, do you want to have more experience with web dev? With web dev? I do want a front end for a service I'm working on. But I assume you're a backend developer? Or not necessarily, right? Because the service can be different. Yay, there we go, for you. Nice. It's the little things in life. So, DevOps cybersec. No. Well, I cannot imagine myself doing DevOps or cybersecurity. So I can understand that going to front end from that is also a little bit. But there are tons of like services now that you can use if you need like a really simple front end. Maybe where was it? There was this was that the machine learning thingy or artificial intelligence? No, probably machine learning, where you would just type what you want and it would give you like a website. I don't know if it was for fun or if it's actually valid for people to use it like properly. You could try it out. It can be like a fun thing. Just gonna pour some water. Okay, what are we doing next? We sorted the for you. I used Hugo for some of my personal sites, but took a React quick start course. Why are there so many things under node modules? It bugs me for some reason. Like the secret is just not to watch node modules. There are a lot of things there, and that's also why like we shouldn't load just any library just because we can. Especially probably somebody who's coming from cybersecurity knows that pretty well, or like would also advise that. But yeah, it is a thing. There are tons of things in the node modules. But then again, when you're developing, like, don't look at the node modules. I don't know what to tell you. Oh yeah, I remember what I wanted to do. Okay, so I wanted to add here a thing. The same thing that we have here. Okay, so what is it? Let's go to the home page. Is it the benefits? Probably. Yeah. So let's just shamelessly use the same thing. Because I think it's the benefits of the website. Yeah, delivery, products, payment, delivery, products, payment. Yep. Could actually add like the yellow circle if you want. We can also add icons. Let's do that. So. Where were we? Product. Yeah, under here. What am I doing? I told you I'm slow today. So, benefits. Bush, what is this? Looks nice. Okay. So what I don't like is like this jump. And we need to think about it. Maybe we could actually add this on top of here, and then the for you you're not gonna see because you're kind of like in full screen. Let's do that. Because if we want to add a loader, so the loader would most likely need to be not just like, hey, let's load this and then a loader on this one, because I'd rather show the user like the full page. Or maybe not actually, because then maybe if the second call fails or something. There are so many things to consider, but in order to avoid that, let's just move this part up. So when the user is in full screen like this, or maybe even bigger, yeah, we're gonna keep the image as big as we can, I guess. Then it's gonna see this first, and then when they scroll down, there's gonna be like a for you. So it's not as screaming and like, hey, buy us, right? There we go. Oh, and you know what? I think that's why it bugs me. This title needs to go in here. And now you cannot have two parents. So, I mean parents, you cannot have the same level elements in the return. So you need to add or this. And then this. Can you? No. Or you need to add a fragment. I think you could, but my Visual Studio Code just got stuck. I challenged it too much. I prefer using fragment. I don't know why. I think it's nice. And then before I crash my Visual Studio Code, let me copy this, save it. It's not gonna save. This goes up. Or actually the hooks go first. Okay. Let me, for a second, I need to quit my Visual Studio Code. Is it gonna close or it's not? Okay. Sometimes it happens and I don't know why. Okay, we're back. So, what is going on here? Section title. Yeah, because now we're in components, so it should be fine. What? Do I need to restart? It's like when something breaks, then it just breaks the whole system. And I don't understand why, but whatever. There we go. Okay. Looking nice. So I'm just checking that my stream health is all right. Okay, looks fine. So what do we have? Oh, did you see there was this little note? I think that sometimes Visual Studio Code just wants to get updated, and it's impatient. It cannot wait until you're done with your stuff. And it's just like, I'm gonna update right now. I'm gonna crash all the code that you've been writing because I don't give a damn. Happens. So let's add the little circle. Let's do some CSS challenging. My favorite. Where are the benefits? Let's close all. And we go to benefits. 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 Benefits item. There we go. Okay, so we have an SVG. So that was like a very quick and dirty solution, and I think that's why I have those icons open. Hero icons. React and view. So let's say, how about a hello shopping cart? Copied. What did it copy? Did it give me an SVG? It did. Okay, so how are we gonna go about it? We have a title and text, and we can also have an icon. If I write it like this as a shopping cart, I also want it I don't know how to do it. I don't know what I prefer. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something also not super nice. I mean, not super nice in terms of if you have many icons, then this approach won't be ideal. But since we know that we're gonna have only 3 icons in this section, then I can sleep at night with that idea. So what I want to do is, okay, this thing is gonna be a little bit up. So we have this SVG. This SVG is referring to this circle of information. I want to check that if item dot title equals delivery, then I want to render another SVG. Then, and I'm going to do that 3 times for the delivery, products, and payments. So ideally, I would pass in the icon somehow. But honestly, again, today brain capacity is not in the place to figure it out. So a solution like this is what we have. Maybe on Thursday when I check it, I'll be like, what the hell was that? Or maybe not. Because again, as there was this question about the CMS. Who asked it before? Let me check. I don't remember. Oh, Gigi asked it. About CMS and if it's worth having it when you're having like an e-commerce or in general, I guess, just like to put products there. And as always, everything depends, right? So also this solution that I'm showing you right now is very valid, especially if you're doing an MVP and you really need to do stuff, you know? There is no shame in doing something like that because Yes, as a developer, you should still adhere to clean code because at the end of the day, that's going to make your job easier in the long run. But again, when it's an MVP, you don't even know if there's going to be a long run. So don't occupy yourself with too much of a headache of things and just go for it. How we could improve this is by extracting the SVGs to their own files, and then we import them as a, for example, shopping cart icon. So that would be more descriptive of what is going on there. But for now, we can keep it like that. Because I'm still not sure which icons we want to use. That's what I tell myself. Let's do products. Product. Basket. So delivery probably would be like a car, right? Or like a van. But we don't have it. What should we use for products? Payment is gonna be probably straightforward. Pay. Copy SVG. It's gonna be payment. There you go. Delivery, payments, and products. Probably products should be the shopping cart, and then delivery should be something else. Do we have a box? Let's do whatever we have. So we're gonna have, wait. What was it? Item.title. Delivery. And here it was products. There we go. So now we have delivery, products, payments. Delivery icon sucks, but we have what we have. So I wanted to, no, I wanted to copy this. Yeah. So this is the icon that we currently have, and I want them to be also on the same size and the same kind of width stuff. So that's the only thing that is different. Oh, I think I remember why we chose this, because the hero icons, they were created by the same person who was working on Tailwind CSS. Yeah, there we go, by the makers of Tailwind CSS. And they're already designed in a way that Tailwind CSS works. So you really can just like copy the SVG and just put it straight away in your code, and it's gonna work perfectly fine. Which again, saves us so much time. There we go. Now we can remove this. Save it. Oh, it's alright. It's not like the most beautiful thing, but it's okay. Maybe it can be smaller. H. So let's select all of the occurrences. And we're gonna do this 8 and this 8. Did it get smaller? What if we do 7? No, I actually think I like 10. But what I don't like is the stroke width. I think the stroke width probably too wide. Yeah, there we go. You see the delivery? I changed the stroke width. And it's a little bit more sophisticated. As much as a shopping cart icon can get sophisticated. Cool. Okay, now I think it looks a little bit nicer in terms of more, at least in the thickness of the line, it looks a little bit more like the other. Now we need to add this beautiful yellow circle. And we already have a circle here, so let's copy paste, or let's pick how we did it there. What is that? That's probably something with price, product price. There we go. We have a div. Okay, let me first copy the whole thing. And in here, this can be, wait a second. So this div, close it up. We have the div with the SVGs, and then we have a div with the title and the text. So this thing. Back after a long break. Yes, Janelle. Yes, indeed. I had a lot of life happening in between. I wouldn't know even where to start to tell you what happened. I actually remember I was rewatching the last stream that I had in order to kind of like remember where I left off. And I was saying there like, oh, my wrist hurts, so I'm gonna take like a week off. And then the shitstorm of my life has happened. Yeah, let me just finish that for a second. Maybe I can elaborate what was going on. Because it has been indeed a shitstorm. So the price we don't need, but this probably is our, like this. Do we, wait a second. So relative can be here. And I don't need this. Yeah, there we go. So now I wanted to move to the side, or do I move my icon? Did I move the price? So what is moving here? The price. Okay. So the icon should have a margin left. Yeah, nice. Maybe 4, 2. Okay, 4 maybe was fine, right? Yay! Can't say it's super beautiful, but maybe it's like something that grows on you once you look at it for longer. Yeah. And now, since we changed it in one place, this means that it is also changed here. Yay! Nice. Very, 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 very nice. I like it. Cool. So, do you want to hear about the shitstorm? I mean, there's not... It has partially passed already. I'm not entirely out of the woods yet, but I'm on a very promising path. Basically, so I'm in Germany, right? I'm on a visa. My passport was expiring. My embassy of my country said that they're not gonna extend my passport, even though they have been continuously telling me within the previous 6 months that everything is gonna be fine. And my visa was expiring. So the visa is attached to the passport. So whenever they expire together. I know a little bit some pro about your visa. Yeah, it was a little bit bigger than that. So my passport was expiring in a week, and my visa was expiring within 2 days. On the day when I received the phone call from the embassy telling me that I have to fly. So that I have to fly to the country of residence, not country of citizenship, and to request a passport there. Which means that my visa that expires in 2 days cannot be extended. So I asked for help at work with lawyers to help me out, and they were absolutely they didn't do anything. They just said you need a new passport. And I was like, thanks, Gap. I know that. So yeah, I went to the immigration office, got a very, very horrible treatment there, but eventually I got my visa extended until end of November. And I had to fly. For a whole month, I was away from home. Didn't know, like, I haven't been in my country of citizenship for 16 years. Like, I left as a teenager because my parents moved. So it was a very, very, weird forced experience. And luckily I had the money to do that trip and to afford to stay in a freaking hotel for a month because I have no family there or anything. So yeah, it was kind of like a very, very, very sad story. Luckily everything turned out well. I'm not a fan of traveling during, there's corona in the world right now. So I didn't really want to do that. Plus that adds the complexity. You need to quarantine, even though people are vaccinated, but still you had to do that. So that's extra money, basically. But yeah, trip costed me a lot. Had to sell some stuff to afford it. But luckily I had what to sell. Let's put it like that. And got my passport, which was also a whole other story. And as soon as I got the passport, I booked the ticket, and the next day I was out and back in Germany. Then I tried to extend my visa now before the end of the visa because I actually got yelled at for coming like so last minute. But now they said, no, you can come last minute. So you can imagine the madness that I'm going through here. All is well, it ends well. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I didn't know that it's gonna end well. There are a lot of personal stuff, right, that I'm not gonna be talking about, but there were many possible personal complications there. And I didn't know how it's gonna go. And funny enough, as soon as I got my passport and I went back home and I had like a week off from the whole madness, my wrist passed. Like, my wrist doesn't work, it doesn't hurt anymore, everything is fine, like, it's okay. So that's probably was connected because I've been under a huge amount of stress for since March. Let's put it like that. And at work also I had like some things that I had to take care of because I was almost at a point where I almost got how do you call it? It's not expelled. Basically, like, I would not be allowed to work and I would not be getting any salary until I figure out my visa. So imagine if I would not sort it or manage to sort it somehow, I would not have any income from August until still going on. I cannot afford that. Plus all the insurances that you need to pay in Germany, like, they're gonna be going out from your own pocket, so that's a lot of money. And also, so I came back to Germany beginning of October. September I spent there, and then I decided to have an eye operation. I decided to do the laser treatment to improve my sight, and that also required some things. And then we had like a friend visiting, and then I had recovery. I'm still in recovery. That's why you're hearing the alarm that tells me that it's time to do my eye drops. But yeah, it has been some hell of a journey, plus like some family stuff, that they also accompany you all the time, everywhere, wherever you go. So yeah, it has not been easy. And I really missed streaming during that time, but I was also entirely not in the capacity to do that. You should be happy. You have a good job in Germany, a dream place for many. For myself as well. I have always dreamt to land eventually in a good country where I have a job, and I didn't even imagine that I would land here. But saying you should be happy doesn't mean that I cannot acknowledge all the shitstorm that I've been going through, right? I cannot just like, oh, I'm gonna be happy. Like, yes, but like, comes with a cost. So that's the story. That's why I have not been here for a while. And now I'm trying like to get back into the groove of it, and it's taking a while, you know, because I was on such a good wave back then, and now I'm still recovering from things, and I'm trying to get my head in the right space. So that's what it is. It's eye drop moment. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat box. I'll be back in 2 minutes. See you in 2. I'm back. Your hard work will lead you to success and happiness. Finally happy to see you back. Thank you. I did a project of yours and added to my resume. Got first job offer in my hometown. What? So awesome! Congrats, Janelle. That's super awesome to hear, really. Super cool. Thanks for the help. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. This really makes my day. Which project was that? Was that the React app? The weather app API? I'm not crying, I just have like... I have the eye drops. Yay, congrats. Okay, so depending on the height of the image, the user still might see this for you. Weather app, yay! Weather app for the win! I'm not sure about this thing. I'm really not sure about it. But... so we know like more or less what's gonna be the height of it, right? We could add like a spinner. So what's the height of this? 330. Okay, let's put it to do. We love it to do. So in the recommended, we should add So to do handle loading state, add, yeah. Again, I'll leave it to my future self to decide how I'm gonna handle it, but for now I think a spinner would be nice to put there. So yeah, let's leave it at that. Then what else? What else can we do that is not like too huge for the day, but still a necessity? Let's check. Welly. So I think we should, those are the reminders for my eye drops. I think we should limit the size of the, is that, what is that? Is that the brand? No, that's not the brand name. Oof, look at this. Nail underscore polish. Is it really everywhere like that? How beautiful this looks like. I mean, look, Dior makes everything beautiful. I'm just like a fan of Dior. Why is this category like that? I don't like this. Where did we have one product? So Dior, it's in pounds. We don't care about that. Everything is in euros. Product type, nail polish. I mean, we could kind of like go around about it saying that it's fancy to have an underscore between the stuff. Or we could just eliminate underscores. Which other stuff do we have? So this is product type. I should have expected that, but also maybe I shouldn't have. So we have powder, pencil, liquid, nail polish. So product type, nail polish. Okay. They probably do like a regex on that. Shall we do that as well? I think we should, right? Look at these beautiful colors. I'm final year undergrad in IT. Got job through college placement cell, and your project helped definitely. Thank you so much. And also great job on doing the projects, creating a portfolio, going through interviews and getting the job. Congrats. Look at these beautiful stuff. And they're for free. Look at that. This one is for free. They also sometimes have like 0 tags. Okay. And if I click buy now, where does it lead me? Good night. It's 1 AM at night. Okay. Good night, Janelle. Thanks for joining. Discontinued. Aye. Okay. That's not the point. Product type should... But what else do we have here? Maybe we can just like use something else. So we have our brand. We have our product type. And that's actually about it, what we have. We don't have much to work with because it's inconsistent. So, curious to hear your thoughts on GraphQL. Well, I think GraphQL is great if you have the use case for it. So, for example, here, in this case, we want to fetch ID, brand, name, price, image link, and a product type. We don't really care about the rest. We're still fetching it, right? So in this, for example, case, would be great to use a GraphQL API rather than a REST API, because then you can really pick and choose which data you want to load. And also, if you're using it with Prisma, I think, then they give you a lot of or like the sort, limit, and things like that that we could have used here and would have been very helpful here. So I think when you have a use case for GraphQL, then it can be really great to use it. But sometimes if you have just like a one specific API and you just do like a very basic data fetching for something specific and you're using all the data and the REST API already exists, because usually REST APIs are like more common, then rewriting it, for example, in GraphQL just for the sake of writing it in GraphQL, I don't think that makes sense. Because you don't really, like you're not using the advantage of GraphQL, I think then, right? But if somebody's used to writing GraphQL, I mean, I can go on and on about like pros and cons for that, but my main point, if there is a REST API and you're using all the data that you're fetching, then why bother? But if you want to improve the loading and the things that you're fetching, then maybe it's good. But I come from a background where you need to fetch like from 5 different APIs, from 5 different endpoints, I mean. And then like you construct the data and like create your own thing and then you output it for the user. And I love this thing so much that for me, GraphQL is just like breaking it for me. But I absolutely wouldn't mind to use GraphQL if I have the chance to, or like the project to use it with. So yeah. But like REST APIs will be forever in my heart. Ooh. Oh, I think I had this. Gotcha, thanks. That helped clarify some of the questions I had. Cool, nice. Do you want to use in your service GraphQL API? Or like GraphQL endpoint? Or were you considering it? Or is it just unrelated? So you know why I'm scrolling up and down? Because I don't want to do regex. Let's go to regex. Where is the spot? So I want to put this like in a proper thing, which is product card. No, it's product. Product. And here, product type. Look at that, everything is already there. Still in that investigation phase, but it seems like GraphQL is a hot thing, so trying to understand some of the hype. Yeah, it is for sure the hot thing. But I think it's actually going a little bit downwards recently. People who have used GraphQL and like jumped on the wagon and didn't see the benefits for their use case, they're kind of coming back to REST. At least that's the rumors that I hear. But yeah, some companies didn't even end up adopting it because it was kind of like too fast, too soon. But yeah, it's a good tech if there is a use case for it. So what does it do? These are the 2 different tasks with 2 different regexes. Is the best solution. So if I do just this, would that not give me what I want? Let's check. it didn't capitalize it, but I'm okay with that. Wait, it did do it to lowercase. No, I want to... Can I... Is there like a to capitalize? To uppercase is gonna be... How do you call it? It's called capitalization, right? Capitalize JS. There is no like a method for it. Okay, fine. I don't want to go there. So I'm just gonna do like this, dot replace. I don't even need like the dot capitalize then, right? Yeah, just like this. And single product dot type. And I'm not changing it directly on the single product thing because I want to use that, not want, I am using that when I fetch these ones, so the recommended ones. I am using the proper naming of the product type, so I cannot replace it on the object itself. That's why I'm doing it in the template. Titus is asking, what are we building today? It's an e-commerce website for pickup. All the links in the description box. We have a design and we're replicating the UI while using an API we found. Come join. So. This actually looks pretty nice, I must admit. But again, I think I'm biased because everything Dior looks nice to me, so. But I think that's pretty cool, isn't it? Don't you think? The big screen is not so much, but I mean, it's not bad. It's just more cute in a compact design like this, right? I'm even gonna take a screenshot of that. It's so beautiful. Wait, let me take a picture. I gotta show it to Instagram. There we go. I'll upload it later. So, I think we're pretty good here, right? I wanted to limit these ones. Okay. I always Google those things. I never like do them by heart. Limit char JS. So text slice. Creating own answers. Nobody has considered that the split might not happen. Shorter text. Is this gonna work? I want it in our product card, in our name. Okay. But I think I can allow like a 20 characters or something. 15? Would be nice to concatenate it on how do you call it? On a space, right? Is it concatenation? No, cut it. Cut words JS. Shorten string without cutting words. There we go. So I think you need to like split it and then join it. Oh yeah, last index off. This is nice. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. No need in this dot 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 that looks like very weird. 11, 10 can be fine. Or maybe even 15? No. 12. Yeah. Perfect. I like that. Very nice. We're doing very good today. There's like these tiny details that you always need to keep on improving, you know? And we're making them today. Okay, this thing, again, we're gonna improve it later on. So we have our home, we click on the powder, it's loading, and then boom, we have the thing, and then boom, we have more thing. So it's pretty cut now, like, but we're aware of that. Let's put it like that. What happens if I click add to basket? Nothing, right? I think we should add some paddings here or margins because it looks a little bit. In Russian you said "ni tudy, ni sudy." You know, not here, not there. Margin bottom 20. So I think since that's an external, not external element, that's a separate component that has its own paddings, margins there, which is also questionable if you should have the margins inside of the component or should it be outside. Since I actually prefer outside, but since it's already there, I'm not gonna touch it for now. We can refine it later. I want to find this part. So the div with the flex, it has margin bottom 10. So I just want to add a margin bottom 20 then to make it more unified, right? Enter, remove this, and this way these ones, they kind of have the same difference between each other. So where does this come from? This is the product, and we have a margin bottom of 10, now it's gonna be 20. There we go. Okay. It's not too bad. And I think in a bigger one, it can be maybe like a shrinker, smaller, shorter. How do you call that? It's not wide. Thin? Thinner? Narrow. Narrower. That's the word. You're doing amazing efforts. Keep going. Thank you. So... yeah, I think I would like the image to have more space. But I might have said something different back when I was coding that, so that can also be the case. This will need to go like to its own really components, because right now the component is so long that I'm really getting lost in it. Maybe that's what we can do next Thursday or this Thursday. like splitting into further components. Why do I have 0.0, not 0.0? Is that what they add? No. Yeah, they do that. 20.0. Okay. So, image. Why am I getting distracted? Image. And then this. Flex item center with screen. Interesting. So I have a padding 10, but I actually want this padding to be only on bigger screens. On smaller screens, and I don't want them. So let's go and search for padding. We're using Tailwind CSS, remember? And I would assume that you can do it per screen. Can you? How do you do the screen thing here? There we go, medium. Okay, so I can do medium padding 10 and then large padding 20, but when there is none, then just keep it like that. Is it gonna work? Oh, that's a medium. Okay. So medium is going to be padding in 2. But the margin right is going to be 10. I actually don't know what I'm doing anymore. It doesn't make sense to me. I want to limit this part. I don't want to limit this one. So keep that. So like with columns, it would have been more simple than with flex, right? Because then we can strictly specify what we want to have. So do they have columns? Grid. Let's go to the grid template columns. Okay, so I'm gonna add a to-do here. Check if columns make sense for a better image display. And another to-do is going to move or split to smaller components, right? So we have 2 to-dos for Thursday, and I think we're gonna figure it out then. We could also probably create like the about page to have it ready. And then next Tuesday, if everything goes well, obviously, we could do the search page. And that's where the real fun starts. Well, that's not fair to say. That was always also fun, but like the nitty-gritty of like filtering, sorting, selecting, and all this kind of stuff. Something I really enjoy, and I hope I will be able to deliver well to show how enjoyable this part can be. So I think for today that's enough. I've been streaming for almost 3 hours. It's almost, again, time for my eye drops and time like to rest my eyes from the screen and to have a relaxing evening before tomorrow starts. Hopefully my headache is gonna disappear. Also, I really don't like keep on coming here and saying about how sick I am, how I have a headache, how something else hurts. So I really hope that this headache is gonna be one of the last ones and I'm gonna be feeling great from here onwards. And we're gonna get back on the streaming wagon and we're gonna meet each other here every Tuesday and Thursday. That's the new schedule at 6 Central European time. No more summertime for us. Hope this time works for you as well. As always, everything is recorded, everything is in the playlist, and we're gonna pick it up next time. So, thank you for joining, thank you for staying around, and I'm gonna wish you a good day, evening, night, wherever you are. Stay safe, and see you Thursday, or see you next time, right over. Bye!